11th year for Tony Shaver. And I guess, Charlie, you can understand why there's a smile on his face when you have 4 returning starters and 8 of your top 9 scorers coming back to the program this year.
It's exciting. It really is. I mean, I think our best teams at William & Mary have been experienced teams, and I think we have a wonderful blend this year of experience that have been through the battles of the CAA and some very talented young players as well.
Now, you know this man very well, and he tipped me off early on to one Marcus Thornton, and he has certainly delivered to not only what everybody else expected, but Charlie, your scouting report on him was right on.
He's talented. There's no question about that. He's a rare talent, I think, for us at William & Mary. I think the thing people don't realize about Marcus is how hard he works at the game. I mean, he's really a self-made player in many ways. In 37 years of coaching, I've never seen a player work as hard at the game as he does. He's in the gym all the time, you know, and he's a great talent. I think the step we want Marcus to make this year is, and we've talked a lot about this, but if he truly wants to be a great guard, he's got to make his team better. He's got to take those skills and help our team reach a new level.
And Charlie, you can appreciate this as well as anybody. You know how early we get there to do games, and as we're setting up and our crew and I look down to the court, hear basketball dribbling 2.5 hours before the game, and I had our crew shoot Marcus Thornton out there shooting jump shots and working on his game, and what a thrill that must be to have a coach who has that much and a guy so self-motivated.
His work ethic is truly amazing. I think everybody in Williamsburg is very excited about it. A bunch of young guys you got this year too, Tony, and I'd like to hear you tell a little bit about those guys.
Well, we've got a talented group of freshmen. I've told our team, though, that if we have a great year, if we really contend for the CA championship, it'll be because of our upperclassmen. I mean, they're the guys that will carry the load. But it is a group of 4 that we're pretty excited about, and I think bodes well for our future. But we had a pretty neat day last spring, Charlie, and I know you're aware of it, but you know, for 30-some years, Indiana's taken their 12 best seniors, and they played in Kentucky's 12 best seniors, and we had 3 players in that game last year. Jack Whitman from Kentucky, Omar Pruitt from Kentucky, both were on that squad. Mike Schlottman, a 6'3" point guard out of Indiana, really tough young guy. And then a 4th player that we think's going to be very good is Daniel Dixon from Northern Virginia that took a postgraduate year at Fishburne Military Academy last year. So a good-looking bunch that has made our practices a lot more competitive.
Well, you had an opportunity this summer to take all those guys to the Dominican Republic. How did that work for your team?
Well, Charlie's a great trip. It's the first time we've been able to do that in my years at William & Mary. And you know, the 10 days of practice I thought might have been our 10 best days in quite a few years. And then the trip was fun. The trip was, great from a basketball perspective in that we played some good teams. We played their national team, their Olympic team over there, and won 3 out of 4 games. So you have to consider it a great success there. But we had a lot of fun too. You know, we went snorkeling one day and did some team building things, some kayak races, which were hilarious. I mean, a lot of sunken boats, I can tell you that. But just a fun trip for our guys.
So how did Tim Rustoven fit in one of those kayaks? That's what
Not well, I can tell you that. I think his is one of the boats that went down.
You mentioned those upperclassmen, though. Tim Rustoven, one of them, Kyle Gaylord, Brandon Britt. Those are the guys that provide such a great compliment to Marcus Thornton. We saw a little videotape there of Rustoven, and he's had great combination of just determined inside work, 14 points, 7 rebounds a game last year.
Yeah, you know, when you wake up every morning, you know what you're going to get out of Tim Rustoven. There's never a doubt about it. He's a great kid, great character, great work ethic, and he's just a very consistent player. We do want him to be better defensively this year, which is what our team has to be. But and as much as anything, we've got to keep Tim on the floor. You know, he was constantly in foul trouble last year, and we. You know, I know one thing. I'm a lot better coach when he's playing than when he's sitting on the bench. So we need him on the basketball floor.
You know, one of the things we've spoken with several of the coaches about are the new freedom of movement rules. I think with all the movement you have, this can be beneficial to your basksketball team. How do you feel about it?
No question. If the rules called as stated, it will help us because our offense is predicated on cuts, movement, some deception, but making people guard us. And if they'll make Bruiser's team up here at Drexel guard us without holding us, we'll be better off for that. So it's a matter of whether it's called or not, though.
You know, with some of the changes in the conference, the addition of College of Charleston and some movement, Now we've got a Virginia matchup between William and Mary and James Madison, and doing a couple of those games last year, those were some special games. Is that the great start of a now maybe an even better rivalry between those two schools?
Well, it certainly could be. I love the in-state rivalries that exist, and I've always thought schedule-wise it's important to keep that going, and we're playing Old Dominion even though they're not in our league. We're going to continue to try to play them, and playing Richmond. So I love the in-state rivalries, and we've certainly had some great battles with JMU last year, and we didn't come up on the right end of those several times. But Matt does a good job, and look forward to future competition.
All right, we appreciate Tony Shaver joining us from the College of William and Mary.